Good morning, John.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm actually in Savannah, Georgia. I was in Las Vegas yesterday, but that's how it goes.
Okay. So at least you're on East Coast time. We're not, well, if you were in Vegas yesterday, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But
Still paying for it.
What are you doing in Georgia? Are you touring right now?
I did a show last night in Vegas with Daryl, and we did a private show. And I'm actually in right here near the Heritage Golf Tournament, and I'm doing a private show for a charity event.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And how often do gigs like that come up, John? About that you and Daryl are brought together to play private events.
We do both. Daryl and I do a lot of them. I do a lot of them solo, and we do regular tours as well. So, I mean, they come up. They're actually fun to do. You get to meet a lot of nice folks, and usually they're pretty low key. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, John, I've become a huge fan of the show on Palladia called Live from Daryl's House. It's one of my favorites, and I've seen almost every episode, but I have not seen you on there. Have you, either been on there, or do you ever have plans on going on there?
I've been on about 3 or 4 times. You just haven't seen my episode yet, I guess.
Damn it!
Yeah, was it just you, or were you there?
Well, I did one for a solo album that I did called 1,000 Miles of Life a few years back, and then I did the Christmas show, which I believe was the first one that was ever shot, and then, of course, when our good friend, dear friend T-Bone Wolk passed away, we did a kind of a tribute show to him where we gathered a lot of the old band members and things like that. So, yeah, I've been on it, I guess, three times, and it's a fantastic show. Daryl's done a great job putting it together. For
anybody who doesn't know about it, the channel is called Palladia, which is just a great channel. But, and you can also look at the musical performances online at, I believe it's livefromdarylshouse.com or something.
Yeah, it's on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually seen you guys perform a number of times. Always love to see you guys perform. And I've seen you pair up with different people. Like Todd Rundgren one time was part of the show, and it was great. Are there people that you sometimes you talk with each other and say, whenever we get to tour with this individual, and if so, who's in your bucket list of people you'd like to tour with?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think I really have a bucket list at this point. I mean, it always happens kind of organically.
Okay.
It kind of happens. We did a great tour with Michael McDonald. We did one with Kenny Loggins. We did one with Chicago. As you said, Todd Rundgren. So, we've done a bunch of those over the years. Right now, we're touring by ourselves, and, we have a lot of songs, and people want to hear those hits. So we tend to do a bit longer show now, and it's been going great, So it's really cool because I get to work with Daryl, I get to tour with Hall & Oates, with the great Hall & Oates band, and then I get to do my solo stuff. And right now I'm in the middle of a big, giant recording project, which I've been doing for the last 3 months. So.
Wow, cool. John, I've read that you own a ranch in Colorado. Is that where you reside? Is that home for you?
Yeah, we've got a place in Colorado, and we have a place in Nashville, and we're about this. I guess we're spending about half our time in both cities. I love Nashville. I've been recording a solo project called Good Road to Follow, and which is just a series of singles that I'm going to release over the next year, and it's really cool. It's just it's a great music town. I made a lot of really good friends there.
Hey, as far as Colorado goes and a ranch, I read that you own some animals, and emus are on the list. I hate those things. They scare me.
They're ornery.
Yeah.
Well, why would a 6-foot bird scare you?
They just look evil.
We used them actually for a stunt. We covered it was you, Casey. We covered you in bird feed, and he lay down on a table. Those suckers
it went right for his balls.
Right for his balls. Yeah.
They are pretty intimidating, but my wife gets along with them great. She grew up on a farm. She knows how to handle all that.
By the way, your mom and dad were just giggling when I said balls. They're sitting right next to us right now, actually.
So I got to ask. It says your first concert was Bill Haley and the Comets. Is that true? And your parents must have been pretty cool to take you to see them.
Well, it was at Willow Grove Amusement Park.
Okay.
And when there was an amusement park there, and not far from that air base, which I guess isn't there either. But anyway, it was way back in the 50s, and I remember, we probably just went to the amusement park, and they happened to be playing.
And they happened to be there, yeah.
Yeah, remember?
Show, but I remember it. That sticks out of my mind.
Yeah,
wow.
I talked about that one morning. That Willow Grove Music Park was a big deal. Like John Philip Sousa used to perform there.
That's right.
Some of the biggies of all time. It goes that far back.
It was one of those classic little amusement parks that were all over the country. There's not too many of them left, I guess.
Yeah, John, do you get back here at all?
Oh, sure. Well, we come back, when we're always playing somewhere in the area. If it's not, Philly, it's Atlantic City or, somewhere. And I try to get back to see my parents as much as possible. They usually come down when we play in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And, and or New York.
I mean, I live in Harleysville, right by your parents. You guys are you're more than welcome to stop by. And summertime, I've got a pool to be nice. But yeah, no answer.
Well, why? When he knows he goes over to the bar at their place.
Arbor Square. Yeah.
That's right. I'd rather hang out at the bar at Harbor Square.
John, when you were growing up in Philly, were there, aside from the Spectrum and the big joints, was there a place where you and Daryl really wanted to play and that would let you know that you made it? Well, like the Valley Forge Music Fair, was that a goal for you guys?
I think, I'll tell you what. When we first started, we played all these little art galleries and kind of coffee houses down on South Street in Germantown, and we pretty much played wherever we could. And the thing was to just start touring and go around the country, around the world, and that was our goal. When we finally came back and played the Spectrum, that was a big deal. In fact, we just recently played the Spectrum. I think it was the second to last show before they closed it, and that was a really cool event too. So we got to play with the Soul Survivors and a bunch of other really cool. The Hooters were there, and it was just a really cool night.
You've been playing guitar since you were 5. How do you keep it fresh? How do you not get bored?
I thought you were going to ask me how come I'm not better.
How come you're not better?
That's what I keep asking myself every day. I don't know. I just love it. I just feel really fortunate and blessed that I'm allowed to make a living doing what I like to do. I think everybody, kind of wishes that was the situation for them, So, I've got a great situation. I've got this great, great legacy and foundation of music I made with Daryl that allows me to kind of do things, and then that gives me the freedom to do, independent projects like the thing I'm doing right now, recording my solo singles.
And the solo stuff, I always loved your solo stuff, or even where you would take the lead on various albums. You mentioned your band, the Hall & Oates band, that was just classics, just top of the top musicians. Was obviously you guys were picking them, but was it an arduous chore to put together that many top level musicians for your band? I assume you had like a dream list and just went after them.
Well, over the years, we've always had, as you said, we always had great bands. And I think one of the reasons we've had great bands, it was never hard to do. One of the reasons we've had great bands is because really good players, good musicians like to play good songs. And because Daryl and I started out as songwriters, that's what we do. We write songs. And the reason we're still around today, I really believe, is it's not, necessarily because of the singing and the playing so much. It's the songs that we wrote. The songs that we wrote have stood the test of time, and people still love them. And that's why we're out there touring, and that's why people are still coming to see us. So getting players to play those songs has actually been quite easy over the years, and we've had amazing musicians in our bands over the years.
Oh yeah, I kid you not. Some of the absolute best concerts ever have been seeing you guys, and just because there's just a level of musicianship that's just unbeatable. So the solos thing you're working on now, is there a different tone to it? How would you describe it? Are you going in a different direction?
Well, the cool thing about it is I decided I didn't want to make a solo album because I just think albums in general are becoming a thing of the past.
Right.
Yeah. So I call this thing A Good Road to Follow. And what it is, it's kind of like a musical journey that I've been on. And it has to do, I thought, well, if I don't have to make an album, then I don't have to care about whether all the songs kind of fit together.
Right.
So I said, you know what, I'll just do anything I want to do and work with people. So I reached out to all these people to collaborate with me. And I just said, look, let's just do one song together, and let's write it, let's record it, let's produce it together, and just do it as a one-off project. And it's been really amazing. I just did I did a song with Vince Gill. I did one with Hot Shell Ray, great pop group from Nashville, who actually I've known them since they've been 4 years old. And did one with Ryan Tedder from One Republic. Did one with Nathan Chapman, who produces Taylor Swift. Tommy Sims, who produced Eric Clapton. I know I'm dropping a lot of names here, but
they're good names.
They're good names. And
yeah.
So what's really cool about it is that everybody brings their own thing to to the recording. And each song is different. Each song has a style. I mean, I just did one with Sam Bush and his bluegrass band. So I'm really I'm touching on all the things I love about music, and it doesn't matter what style it is.
Hey,
some of it's R&B, some of it's pop, some of it's rock, some of it's blues. So it's really cool.
It's an interesting perspective you might have on the format of today's music and the presentation of it, not necessarily in an album form any longer. I think you might have a different perspective because you're a veteran. You've had a very successful career, a long track record. You don't have quite the pressures as maybe a younger trying to make it artist might have, where they need to create a full body of work. It might be more fun for you being able to take it one song, two songs at a time, and throw everything against the wall and see what sticks.
It is really cool. That's what I said. I have this incredible foundation that Daryl and I have created for ourselves, and it's given me the freedom to do other things. And so, like I said, I'm very lucky to have that. And so because I have it, I want to take advantage of it. If you go on my website, johnoates.com, you can go to Good Road to Follow, and I've got free downloads, and got a single out right now called Stand Strong, and another one called High Maintenance comes out in June. So it's a really cool project, and people can go and they can download the songs, or you can get them all together, or whatever you want to do, really.
Finally, once and for all, what's the definitive? Because I've heard a number of different stories. How did you and Daryl Hall meet? Well, I've heard the one I've heard most often said is that you just met in an elevator. Is that accurate or not?
Well, it's accurate, but it's not the whole story.
Okay.
There was a place called the Adelphi Ballroom in West Philadelphia, and WDAS was having a what they called a record hop in those days, teenage dance. And Daryl's group, he had a group called Temptones. I had a group called the Masters. We both had singles out being played on the radio at the time. And this was probably '67, I guess. And we were both there. We were going to lip sync our singles, and a big gang fight broke out. And it was, basically time to leave. We jumped into this elevator, and that's how we met. We both were going to Temple University, but we didn't know each other, and we kind of gravitated toward each other and started writing songs and hanging out. And
so you were fleeing a gang fight.
Yeah, well, that's right.
How Philadelphia of you.
Yes, there you go. Typical Philadelphia.
John, have you become aware of, or are you familiar with the group Garfunkel and Oates?
I know them. They're good friends of mine.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we had them in studio not that long ago, and they're very talented and really funny and obviously really cute. So
I love those girls. I had heard about them, and so I actually got a hold of them through their website, and I sent them a message saying that I was going to sue them if they didn't stop using my name. And they got back to me, and they thought I actually was going to sue them. And we became friends, and then I played with them a number of times. I had them out at my Songwriters Festival in Aspen.
Oh, that's great.
And since then, we've in fact, I just saw them perform it in Nashville at a comedy club. They're just the best. They're so smart and so cool.
Excellent. All right. Well, listen, thank you for coming on this morning. We appreciate it. And we figured, hey, we had a connection with your dad here. He's in our studio right now. And
tell him hi for me.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And we'll see you when you make it back into Philly or Atlantic City, and continued success. All right, John?
Good. Sounds good, man.
All right. Thank you. John Oates. Yeah.